Thank you for the comments. As a result, I will try and make the fonts on all of these bigger so they're easier for you to read and follow. The Clown Punk by Simon Armitage, a really interesting poem. Again, we go through it with smile. So first of all, we've got the enjambment in the structure, so it kind of just helps us flow from line to line. So here we go, got up and walked. So basically it's almost like, well, in this case here, it's almost as if like it's an amazement. We pause after up, thinking about, wow, like this mishmash of clothing that just got up. It's a sonnet which is awkward and powerful, and it's kind of like really contained in that. And obviously a sonnet, the idea, or the reason this is coming through as a sonnet could be because it's just trying to summarize an idea and just kind of put it all into one point. Maybe there's a lot the writer feels he could actually say about it by summarizing in an irregular sonnet. Obviously it's an irregular situation, and also it's just trying to kind of capture an idea as a lesson rather than trying to go on about it with maybe as much feeling or emotion as it actually has. So it's a containment there. The sonnet's being used for containment. There's a contradiction in the part of the structure as well with the title. So it's almost like an oxymoron, but the clown is someone supposed to make you laugh, and a punk is supposed to be rebellious. Obviously they're oxymoronic in a way, but because they're both outcasts of society, or basically they're not kind of commonplace in society, it kind of waters down the oxymoron there slightly. But obviously you could still say that, and technically you'd be more than accurate. So that's really interesting, because it's kind of, the poem itself shouldn't be there. This isn't kind of a poem that someone should have to write, but because of this strange situation, this punk who's actually been reduced to washing cars, or trying to kind of scrape some money by just washing cars while someone's actually stopped, or washing windscreen, should I say, while someone stopped at a light. Obviously it's quite a sad way to be rebellious, and obviously not the most endearing way to live. So we've got the obviously in the structure you've got the rhyme, which kind of gives us a really interesting tone the whole way through, makes it more memorable, and obviously makes it more memorable, first of all as a lesson, and second of all because this is someone talking to their children on part of the way through as well, so maybe that rhyme gives it some childishness there as well. So what are the meanings that he's getting across? Well, first of all, the things we can take of it is as a warning to people. You've got these two people who actually meet, and he's expressing himself through the window, and obviously the driver of this car doesn't think very much of them, and he turns around and he warns his children, and you get an idea of that from the don't laugh, and then obviously the descriptions that come of the clown punk after that. You've got the idea of youth as well, with the meaning of how they actually treat this person. Now this is quite interesting because the kids here wince and scream, and then basically we get the idea of, well, maybe when this person was young he actually winced and screamed because he gets all these pixels and tattoos actually all over his body, and so actually it's a kind of a warning for the young. Is this what you might actually become if you don't maybe follow some of society's rules, etc.? But obviously that's open to interpretation. One of the other meanings we get through the warning as well is parenting. This person actually thinks it's his responsibility to make sure that he teaches the children, educates them against ending up like this, and that comes again from the don't laugh, and then the colon that comes straight after. It's very serious, a strong tone. And also you've got the remember, the clown punk with his dyed brain. Obviously the remember there again is like a parenting reminder, telling them again that this is something very important, so the lessons there. And obviously one of the meanings is talking about society, just different people, different levels of society mixing. If anyone ever goes to Glastonbury or a music festival like that, and you just go and you find people from every single walk of life, and it's quite a fascinating mixture. Not to say that anyone there is a clown punk or anything better or worse than that. It's just an interesting mixture, and obviously that's one of the things Armitage is capturing here, just society meeting. And even though the writer himself here the persona that we've got driving the car doesn't think very much of it, it's just that is a reflection of one person's view of society. So it's quite interesting. What it looks like from the clown punk's point of view is who knows. So you've got the images, obviously lots of images of the punk himself, obviously like a basket of washing. You've got the shrunken scalp, you've got this indelible ink. It's just kind of really it's quite sad. And obviously everything that he's actually using as well is slathering his daft mush. So again, that's very soft, very soft, slow. It's just messy and dirty, and it's just complete a mess, and obviously it's mush, so it's all not good here with the images coming through from him. You've got the images of the terrified children. Obviously they're wincing and screaming, etc., when they actually see what he's doing. It's kind of like trying to distance themselves from him. And and obviously stay away from him. Come some kind of boogeyman's come at the window, and just the whole poem, the image you actually get is this really deprived feel. And obviously because it starts off on where obviously in this kind of like a safe place, a safe haven, because they're obviously in this car, they can't really be touched, and then they're driving obviously in the bad side of town, and then obviously they see all that the stuff, and obviously even the tattoos are sad. They're supposed to have been of this great high era, but they can just be called sad. They're fading and sad. So language again, we've got there the word chonky, obviously kind of gives us this uncomfortable, obviously helps with the image, support the image there. The indelible, that's a really interesting word, because obviously nothing's going to go away, and it's kind of stained. And how much the persona here is talking about the person maybe being a stain on, all those like him being a stain on society is the same kind of thing, or maybe a drain on society is maybe a second double meaning there. But the idea that the tattoos will never actually leave shows how uncomfortable this person may be within their own skin. Maybe there's something they thought was cool when they were young, and now they've got this remnants, which maybe means they can't get certain kind of jobs, or they can't go into certain kind of things in society. And daubed, and basically the daubed thing is just kind of like something that's it's just still there, and it shouldn't really be there, and it's just kind of messy. And so the words all the way through there are really, really powerful. And again, like I've already mentioned, slathers, all the words that I've picked out here really are quite interesting. Obviously you've got the simile that is actually broken through at the top here. Obviously something to remember. So what does it actually make us think about? Well, it makes us think about people in society, and obviously their placements, and I have just mentioned that earlier. Also makes us think about the choices people make. And that's quite interesting, where the warning comes into the to the children there, that they're being told to be careful of the choices that they make. They can enjoy a life for a while in a certain way, but then obviously there's responsibilities, and obviously some kind of change in society. Obviously, the person in the car seems to have done quote unquote well. He's in the car, and obviously he's got children, so we presume he had a family of some kind, and we presume he's going somewhere, they're doing something. Whereas this person is just walking with or almost like a stray dog towing it. Maybe even the dog doesn't even want to be with this person, and he's just dragging along to whack mush all over a stranger's windscreen. And obviously with the end there, the idea of letting it rain, maybe they just want to get rid of the stuff on the windscreen. Maybe they want society to be washed of such people, etc., etc. So it's interesting how the choices people make can be developed and looked into here. And obviously you've got the role models on the opposite. So maybe the person driving the car, who we'll presume is a father, is someone that the children look up to, etc. And then you've got the opposite of the role model, just this person who actually inspires you of what not to be, etc. So you've got that person there as an anti-role model in some way. And yeah, there's several things obviously you can look into, and obviously you can add dozens more, and as you have done in the past, please feel free to add your own smile points in the comments section.